Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in, and for those who have just joined in, a tight and a warm hug. I'm Natalia Suri, and what are we going to do today? I'm going to talk about mythology. Mythology. It seems such a heavy word. It seems like a 30-kilo dumbbell in my right hand and a 30-kilo dumbbell in my left hand, and I'm lifting it. Mythology. Oh my God, it's been such a boring word. Now, how do I make it interesting today? So today I have divided again today's program into various parts. We will be talking what is mythology, what are myths, the difference between religion and mythology, and then I'll be talking to Kevin, the famous mythological fiction writer Kevin. He has written various books, but the topic which I have chosen today is the famous Lord Kalki. I'll be telling you about Lord Kalki, then we'll have a conversation with him, and then I'll tell you what actually makes a myth and my views on Lord Shiva, and in the end my conclusion. So let us start. What is mythology and what are myths? As per the dictionary meaning, mythology, it's a noun which means a collection of myths belonging to a particular religion or cultural tradition. Now, what are myths? Myth means a traditional story, especially one concerning the early history of people or explaining a natural or a social phenomena, and typically involving supernatural beings or events. Oh my God, it looks so heavy. The simple thing is, mythology is basically stories and religion is the practice of those stories. Now, mythology is extremely interesting. Aren't our stories very interesting? I think they're very interesting, but religion is boring. That is how we have made it today. Very depressing rather. Now how? For here I'll quote an example. If your friend or your relative or your near and dear one needs blood in the hospital, then would you really see the blood? From where is it coming? Is it a Hindu blood, a Muslim blood, a Christian blood, or so on? You would never see that. So why do we make religion so depressing? Do think about it. Yeah, so today I'll be talking to Kevin Missal, the famous mythological fiction writer. He has written about various mythological characters from our Hindu religion, and he has made them into fictional stories. But my favorite is Lord Kalki. So I'm first going to tell you about Lord Kalki, and then we'll have a conversation with him. So here is about Lord Kalki. Lord Kalki is the 10th avatar of the Hindu god Vishnu. He has come to end the Kali Yuga. He has been born. There are theories about it. The first theory is, yes, he has been born. According to the Kalki Puran, he will be born when the moon will be in the Dhanistha Nakshatra, that's Aquarius, and the sun will be in Swati, the Nakshatra of the sword. Such astrological arrangements were present in 2012. So he might have been, but we can't say for sure. Now he hasn't been born. It would be when the earth would drown into darkness and the three rivers, Ganga, Yamuna and Saraswati, would ascend back into heaven, or I should say become dry. So perhaps the rivers haven't dried up yet, so maybe he hasn't been born. Nostradamus, yes, the famous astrologer, has also predicted about Kalki. He says a man will rule on land and sea and will hold immense power. He says that this person will be born from the three water signs of Aries, Aquarius and Cancer, which one can understand are the three oceans, that is the Indian, Arabian and the Bay of Bengal. Hence people feel that he'll be born in South India. It is said that his holy day would be Thursday. In no other religion of the world other than Hinduism, this day is considered holy. So perhaps he will be born in India. Hi guys, I'm in conversation with Kevin Missal, the famous mythological fiction author. He's written various books from Kalki, from Narasimha and Meghnad, the Ravan Putra. So I'm going to talk to him about his views on mythology. Hi Kevin, welcome to my show.
Hi.
So tell me, what is mythology in your terms?
Mythology is the study of myths. So in India, I mean, we are surrounded with a lot of myths. Our culture is flourishing with different myths. I mean, it's not just India, it's Greece also, it's Rome also, you know. And I feel that mythology is a study, and the way you create stories out of it, or you reinterpret it or reimagine it, that's mythology.
Okay. And in your views, are gods gods have been modernized. Like, for example, today Shiva has got 6-pack. Lord Shiva has been shown with 6-packs. And in cars we have Maruti stickers of Hanumanji, which resembles the ape from from that movie, The Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Gods have been modernized in a different way. So what is your view on that?
I think gods, more than gods, I feel the people who perceive these gods have changed. They don't want to see them the way they have been, seeing them, or their ancestors or their parents or whatever they seeing them. I think they want to make these gods and goddesses cool. That's why when we look at like the 6-pack abs, I mean, I'm sure you must be talking one of the shows on the TV. For us, it's like, okay, he's just like us. He's part of our pop culture, So someone like Iron Man or a Hulk, So I think Lord Shiva or anyone or the gods and goddesses, they are our superheroes of India.
Okay. And in your research for Kalki, because it was very important, Kalki and Kalyug, what is Kalyug in your terms?
Kalyug is basically, for me, that's a good question, because the thing is, Kalyug is when the evil has risen and the good has fallen. I think that's the arbitrary way of looking at it. But I feel Kalyug is also the time when I think the world is now at a standstill. It's not moving forward. It's right there. It's at a pause. And I think Kalki is supposed to come. The Kalki avatar is supposed to come and basically change that pause, the staticness, and move it to, again to something which is more moving now. So that's why it's said that after Kalyug he has jumped to after Kalyug the Satyug comes again. The Satyug is one of the most beautiful time. So I'm thinking of working on something, the second Satyug, not the first one. The first one we already know, but the second one after what Kalyug happens. So that was also interesting.
And another thing, when I'm talking of Kalyug, what is God in your terms?
God in my terms is basically, I feel it's someone who gives us hope, and really it makes us feel protected and makes us feel that faith exists. I think that's
God in your terms.
Yeah, I feel God in my terms.
I have another question. We have Amish Tripathi, we have you, we will have more generation of authors coming in on this term of mythological fiction. So what they are bringing in stories after a few years? You think that a normal person will be confused actually what was the real mythology which we had read as kids and what you writers are bringing in? So would that create a clash and a confusion in the society?
I feel it would, no doubt, because obviously, but then at the same time, this has been happening for a long time. When you look at, so I'll just give you an example. For instance, Karn, Karn? Karn was a low caste.
Okay.
If I say no,
Achha.
If I say he was a mixed caste, if I say he was a prince, will you agree with me? You always thought of him as a low caste person, a driver ka beta, a sarthi ka beta. Who gave you this idea? The ideas which we kept reinterpreting. This came from the TV shows that were shown to us in the 1980s, and before that also, you got so many reiterations. But the original Ved Vyas ji made Karn as a mixed caste, and he was the prince. He was a charioteer's beta, but he was a very rich man. So this has been happening for a while. So it's not a big deal. See, at the end of the day, if someone wants to go there and wants to really learn the original one, they go there. They take what me or Amish or anyone has written and they take it as a stepping stone to go to that. Yeah.
And you choose your characters of mythology as per certain perceptions which you have in your mind, that my character should have these qualities, only then I would choose, because Indian mythology is very rich and very deep. So how do you choose your characters for your novels?
I feel it really should interest me first. For instance, when the reason why I wrote on Meghnad was the idea that he was someone, Meghnad is not a very popular character. No one knows about him, to be really honest. They just know that they know this guy whose name was Indrajit and everything, and he had some fight and he was following his father. That's it. And no one in their right mind would write about Meghnad. But the only reason why I wrote about Meghnad was the fact that at the time when Sita was abducted, he was the one from the Rakshas clan who opposed.
Okay.
So, which was very interesting because his father had abducted her, and beta hoke, the one who's supposed to be loyal, मना कर दिया. नहीं मैं ये क्या कर रहे हो आप पापा? And that is what I was like, okay, he might be loyal but he's also a rebel.
Oh, yes. Like most of the kids are these days.
So, yes. So, what my agenda is to see that contradictions in characters.
Okay.
Right now I'm writing on Karn, I mean, while we are interviewing, I'm writing on Karn, and hopefully by the time it will release, I'll finish it.
Okay.
But by the time you release the video. But that is also the reason why I like Karn, because everyone thought of Karn in a particular way, because we are born into thinking that way, that he was a very poor guy, he was everywhere, he was blindsided everywhere. But what if I tell you he wasn't? The contradictions.
Since today's program I have based it on Kalki, what would be your reaction if you meet the real Kalki avatar tomorrow morning?
I'll make him read my book.
So which all the avatars you will meet, you will make them first read
Yes,
your book?
yeah. I hope I did justice.
Okay, the justice will not done, then what?
Then I'll run away.
I had a wonderful conversation with you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I think my viewers would have learned a lot from Kevin Missal, the man, the guy behind the mythological fictions in India. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you. Myths are stories about how the world came into existence. Every culture has got its own myth, which are weaved around that one common aspect, human being. Hence, there are some similarities to all myths. It has to have a god and a goddess, that is the two genders. Every culture has to have some kind of ruling god or a group of gods. If we notice deeply, we will see that our gods and goddesses have brothers, sisters, maybe step or real, daughters, sons, husbands, wife in their relationship. For example, Lord Shivji has a complete family with his in-laws, children, etc., etc. Now, myth comes from eras where science did not play a predominant role, but people used to ask questions. Why do we have earthquakes? Hence, they found their own answers in their own ways, by saying that perhaps that's supernatural, that our gods must be angry. Hence, they started associating certain rituals with them. So today I'll be sharing my opinion of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva, the most powerful and the most important Hindu god. He's hung in all temples. Now, what is Lord Shiva for me? I'll give you an example. When Sati had evoked her energies and turned her body into ash, Lord Shiva was very furious. He threw his matted locks on the floor and two demons were formed, Veerbhadra and Bhadrakali. Now, if I have to take it, I'll say these are negative thoughts. A single negative thought becomes bigger and bigger and consumes us. I think religion, specifically our Hindu religion, the oldest in the world, has got a very deep philosophical meaning. If we go beyond the photos and our daily rituals and understand that philosophy, I think life would be better and happier for us. Thank you so much for listening. Do join me in my next mystery. We'll have a wonderful time. I'll show you that, and I really don't know what would be the topic. So till then, take care, bye-bye, tata, and thank you for listening. But you need to subscribe. Do subscribe. Thank you, bye-bye, take care.